one more question before we roll to the next topic here. Talk about the acquisition side, right? Because if I'm buying a long-term rental, I'm looking at what is my purchase, what is my rehab, what is the ARV, I pull my cash out, and then what does it cash flow for, right? Like it's a pretty simple, proven formula. And I know you're saying, hey, you got to look at these things long-term, but on the acquisition side, are you looking at, what's different than when you're looking at these sort of properties compared to what you've been doing over the last decade?
So what I did was for specifically the midterm and the Airbnb model, I switched. I was buying B properties. B meaning I'd buy Streamwood, Hanover Park versus Schaumburg, because Schaumburg being an A, right? I would consider Streamwood and more bread and butter compared to Schaumburg. So now I'm buying all A properties personally for me. I'm not talking about now a lot of people within the RIA, within Mastery Group, they're buying still B properties, just financially where you are. But I'm buying across the board all A areas because now I can acquire properties at 240, 250, 260. I can fix it up for 40 or 50, 60,000, and the back end values are in the 400s. And my rentals are working out because the rents have gone through the roof. I mean, that's another equation that the delta, the weirdest thing has happened, which is at one time, if I was all in a property in Schaumburg at 250, I didn't get enough rents to support my numbers, which is I wanted to be in for 25, 30% equity in it. I wanted $500 net cash flow after all expenses. And I wanted a DCR of 1.33. Those are the three criteria we use. I couldn't do it then. Today, when the prices are actually higher,
now it works.
It's the craziest thing ever. And the interest rates are higher, right? It's so interesting how the market has changed, and that I think today the market is more nuanced than it was back in 2008 through 15. Maybe you guys will have any comments on that, but today you have to have a little bit more intellect, but you can make a lot more money.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So I play in the north side of Chicago, and it's the same convo I have where you almost have to do this rehab or these guts or these big lifts, because the money you put in the project, yes, you're putting more in, but you get it back on the back end, and then the rents go up at an amplified rate. It's the same concept you're saying where now you can buy at a higher rate, but the rents have gone up so much that the numbers now work where they didn't from the get-go. So same mindset there.
It's a lot of times I'm like, I have to look back at my numbers. I'm like, am I sane? Does this really make sense, right? You're doubting yourself. I'm like, man, I've been doing this for a long time, but you're like, this makes no sense. I'm buying a property for 210, a great bungalow in a great A area. I'm fixing a 60, 70, I have a brand new property. Appraisal comes back 410. I can't sell it at 410, mind you. I can sell it as a 380 maybe in today's market, right? But yet my all-in cost is 260, 280, somewhere in there. But cash flows like no tomorrow on a regular long term. On midterm, it's through the roof. And you're like, this is just crazy. It just doesn't add up. So, but it's interesting time.